Greetings. Today, I want to speak to you concerning the story of Cain and Abel and how that story will only make sense to you if you understand the Bible as a book of mind science. If you only understand that the Bible addresses the human mind and must be interpreted psychologically, it must be interpreted esoterically and metaphysically. It is pointing you to know that your awareness or your consciousness is the ultimate one. And the central character of the Bible is definitely man's imagination, which is man's awareness of being. Now, if you understand that, you would realize that every creation is actually the manifestation of energy transmuting into form or into matter. In other words, it is the invisible becoming visible. For example, your birth and in this physical world, it starts with a thought. Your mother, your father had to first have a thought, before they can get involved in the physical sexual act to express you here in this physical world. Well then, it have the mental or psychological world and also the spiritual world. So you are a physical person, psychological and spiritual. But what they did, they interpret the Bible to you on one level. But I'm going to show you that you must understand the Bible on all three levels. So whatever you sow, that is what you will also reap. So it is showing you when the male and the female merge together, which is thoughts and feeling, and your conscious and your subconscious mind marrying each other in a union to bring forth a manifestation, you can either bring forth Cain or Abel, which is a destructive life being Cain and a progressive, uplifting life being Abel. That is why you're told that Abel offered a sacrifice of faith, while Cain did not offer a sacrifice of faith. What does that really mean? Well, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. It means that Abel is the one who knows how to live from the unseen to express the seen, because he's operating under the energy of love. What kind of love? Self-love. Knowing who you are. Believing in yourself. Having the right concept of yourself. But Cain is the one who doesn't have the right concept of self. So it is showing you that you can live a life in doubt, fear, guilt, shame, and condemnation. And that describes the energy that is used to control you in religion. And that is why, if you do not understand the Bible from a metaphysical standpoint or from an esoteric and psychological standpoint, you will always get the story wrong concerning Cain and Abel. And you will always separate yourself and thinking that you're good and other people are evil, when it is just teaching you the polar opposite. It is the same coin, but there is the head and the tail of the same coin. God and the devil is all mental. It's all have to do with the mind. So you can sow good seed or you can sow bad seed. It is speaking about thoughts. You have incoming thoughts and you have outgoing thoughts. So when you operate by faith, it is you embracing the invisible world of spirit, accepting that you are spirit and you're having a human experience. But when you act like Cain, this is where you have limiting beliefs. This is where you have envy and jealousy, because you think that life is a competition and you're living your life unconsciously because you do not know who you are. That is why you cannot operate in faith. As a matter of fact, Cain represents those who live in the five senses only, and they can never see beyond the five senses. They are dwelling at the level of the animals, and they are in survival mode. So they only what they can see, taste, touch, and smell, they can identify themselves with. And that is why many a times when I go into the grocery and I hear someone complaining about the price and saying they can't afford this and can't afford that, I normally turn to them and say, you're a Christian. And I've never once been wrong. Because I know how to recognize the children of Cain. Those who have no faith, those who have no concept of self, those who do not know who they are, those who have a religious and superstitious mentality that is looking outwardly, those who believe that the Bible is literal and secular history. They're easy to know. However, when you understand that in the book of Hebrews, it tells you that Abel offered a more better sacrifice than Cain because it was a sacrifice of faith, then you will understand that Cain and Abel is dealing with faith and doubt. And so only the just shall live by faith, but the unjust will never live by faith because they do not understand the law of polarity. They do not understand the law of correspondence. They do not understand the laws that governs all of humanity and the laws that governs the universe. They're living their life unconsciously instead of living it consciously. And so when I speak about Cain destroying Abel, do you realize your negative thoughts will destroy your life? Do you realize your limiting thoughts would destroy your life? Do you realize that your religious and superstitious thoughts will never allow you to understand the law of mentalism, that everything was false a thought and false an idea and false imagine? Because if you do recognize that, then you will know that the Bible is mental, then you know the Bible is psychological, then you will know no book can ever be written and it wasn't false a thought or false an idea or false imagine. Then you would know that thoughts become things, and you will never blame a devil outside of yourself. You will hold yourself responsible for your thoughts and your actions, because you know that everything in this world that have been expressed, it was false a thought. So you would understand the secret of creation. And that is why those who live by faith are those who seek the kingdom of God first by looking within themselves and being more observant and check the way how their mind works and realize that everything is mental and that there's no one to blame and no one to change but self. They wouldn't be really just trying to change the entire world and want to change everybody to have the same belief system like them. No, they understand the law of polarity. They understand that light reflects darkness and darkness also reflects light. You must have both, because there must be balance. You can't have a good woman without a bad woman. So my brother, my sisters, when you understand these things, then you will understand the whole parable behind Cain and Abel. And you will realize that it wasn't two people living in a garden, a physical garden, and they bring forth two children. Because if that was so, then it means that everybody in this world is sleeping with their brother and their sister. But the garden is speaking of your mind. That's where you sow all of your seed. And remember the law of gender. Everything has its masculine and its feminine. So people been reading the Bible and they take it Adam and Eve for two people when they're actually taking personification for persons. And they've been taking allegory for history. And they fail to realize that the Bible starts by saying, in the beginning God, which is saying the invisible. Everything starts with the invisible. And they miss it. So my brother and my sisters, if you've been raised to believe in a God outside of yourself, and you've been raised to believe that the Bible is literal and secular history, I want you to tell me if this explanation of Cain and Abel, if it makes sense to you, when I teach you that the Bible is a book of mind science. You judge for yourself which one really makes sense to you. Okay? And remember, even if you disagree with me, it still has to first be a thought. It has to first be an idea. It has to first be imagined. It is impossible for what I am teaching to be proven wrong. It's as simple as that. Because as you sow, so shall you reap. As a man thinketh in his heart, what is his heart? It is speaking of his subconscious mind, that part of you that never sleep, that part of you that is invisible. It is using the heart as a symbol. Because you see, the organ, which we refer to as the heart, that is what pumps blood throughout the entire body. And the blood represents the life in everything. So, as you think it in the invisible, so shall it express in the visible. This truth can never be proven wrong. So, my brothers, my sisters, here is the story of Cain and Abel. You choose which life you want to express on this planet. Are you going to live by sight, or are you going to live by faith? I'm not speaking about blind faith. I'm speaking about knowing, first of all, who you are, and knowing that you have a creative power that you can use to achieve your every desire. And this creative power is within you, and you're told not to be like the hypocrites who like to be seen and heard and like to be praying audibly. You know how to go inwardly and access and activate that power and use it to achieve your every desire. That is how we have every invention upon this planet that people are using and enjoying. It is you cultivating within the ideas and acting upon those ideas and make them live. You creating your world, and you creating your world whichever way you want it to be, because the creator is within you, and you are the creator beholding the creation. You are the perceiver beholding the perception. So my brothers, my sisters, I can go on and on and on, but I think I'll come to a close here. And I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you're listening to me, what I'm saying, if it makes sense, if it really resonates with you, and you haven't subscribed already, I definitely want to encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, and to share this video. Also, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, or you'd like to follow me on TikTok, you can follow me at BlackMadGuru. And if you'd like to support my work, like my books, my merch, if you want to be a part of my Patreon community, or you want to take my course for people who are donating $20 or more, and my Patreon, it's called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And along with that is a bonus course on self-concept. If it's one course you need to have, make sure you do a course on self-concept. Make sure you're quite aware of the power of self-concept. It's very important. It's the most important thing you can know, is knowing who you are. Because you will know that you are the power. You will know that. You are the wisdom. You know that. Okay, but you have to act. Don't just be a hearer. Be a doer. So I will definitely encourage you to check out all of the links that are down below. That is how you would get whatever you're looking for, by checking out all the links that are down below and follow your intuition. So with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, I just want to say peace. Love you all. Out.